So I'm going on right now. So I just wait for you. So I'll pull you in.
All right.
All right.
Can I call you or you'll call
No,
me?
no, just call in right now. You can call in right
Okay.
now. All right.
All right.
Bye. I'll pull you in.
All right.
All right.
Can I call you or you'll call me?
No, no, just call in right now. You can call in.
Okay. All right.
All right. Shalom, 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 shalom. I want to welcome everyone to King James Bible University. I want to make sure I get some of my people up here that is actually going to be going together. And basically, I want to welcome everyone here. And today we're going to be going through a Christian pastor of 35 years actually is going to debate some of my students, which they've been going through. And as he believed, which is we're going to look at, he said, based on the believer. So we want to keep that to what it is. And I'm going to wait for him to call in. And I actually just got off the phone with some of you guys already have seen. I was on the phone with him actually while I was switching over. So what I want to make sure is I'm pulling my certain ones up. And I have the daughter of Zion, I believe, is up. And I need to bring in another. I do not see some of my other ones right now. I'm trying to see. Let me bring up Elliot Jenkins. In. Let me see. I'm still not seeing some of the ones who actually were going to be participating. So I'm not going to do a long wait. 1 second. 1 second. And I'm gonna find out something real quick. Brother Richard, yes. And you have your hand up, Richard. I'm trying to.
This is Smith. You told me to change.
Huh?
I changed the information like you told me to.
Oh, got you. Okay. Let me move you up. Okay. I'm still waiting on a couple of other ones, but I do have the daughter of Zion that's in here. We have the daughter of the king. We have her up. I'm still waiting on another to where we can go through this and get this through. I was trying to see with the daughter of Zion, and I'm not seeing. Let me make one quick call to him again to make sure with him to see what is happening. I guess he's trying to call in, so he's not picking up. I guess he's trying to call in. So I want to make sure want to make sure I get a few other ones in here. I want to make sure I get the invite there. Let me do it this way to where I can make sure they get it. And I am sending them one, but I'm still waiting at least on one other, and I'm still not seeing some of those sisters. So what I'm gonna end up doing, I'm gonna end up start replacing some of these sisters because I do have some of the other ones actually in here. And I'm not seeing them. Okay, we have one call-in listener. I believe that's the one. I'm not sure. I'm not seeing that in there. So I'm not seeing them actually in here. I'm trying to make sure we can get this correct and straight. We have Daughter of the King. Can you unmic real quick?
Shalom.
Shalom. Yeah. Okay. So I'm still waiting on the other two. I just inboxed them. And see, and I'm gonna tell you, we'll talk. Let me try him one more time, because because he's actually going first. But let me call him one more time, because he actually called me before we even started, and he was saying he was ready to go. So I'm trying to make sure that we're going to go through this. And I actually thought everybody would be on by this time. And he's not picking up. So what I'm gonna do, okay, we had the Daughter of Zion. She is on. I'm putting them up.
This is Furman Salone.
Yeah, he's not picking up. So he's still not picked up. I'm gonna try him one more time and see if he's going to pick up. Is he going to pick up? The good thing is I do have his other number. So let me try the other number and do I due diligence. Okay. Oh, okay. So let me move her up. Yeah. Let me move the other one up. For some reason, he is not picking up.
The Lord is my shepherd.
For some reason, I cannot get him on here. So we might. Okay. I'm gonna actually give him 2 more minutes because we have the sisters are in. However, the sisters are in, but for some reason he actually not picking up. He is not picking up whatsoever. So I'm gonna give him 2 more minutes, and actually I'm gonna bring up one other one because one is not showed up. Follow Yahweh Shai, true follow Yahweh Shai. And true follow Yahweh Shai. Can you unmic?
Yes.
Okay. So we have that one. Everybody's in. All our sisters are in. And so far, we are waiting. So I'm gonna try him again. And we even have his reader. We have his reader in. His reader is in. Yeah, he is not picking up. And I literally just spoke to him less than an hour ago. For some reason, he's not picking up. So I'm gonna try. Actually, I'm gonna try one more time. If not, we're just gonna call it a wash, and we're not gonna actually go through anything. But I'm gonna try him one more time, and he normally picks up like clockwork. So I'm not sure why he's not doing this one this time. One call-in listener. Huh. Still not getting him. I want to check. I want to do my due diligence and check and make sure. And we're trying to make sure. Show all. We're doing our due diligence, not seeing. And not seeing anything. So what we're going to do is end up knocking this one out because I don't see I'm not seeing him to where he's entering in. And actually he won't even pick up the phone. And this is actually very odd for him because he'd normally pick up like clockwork.
Elder, you had just
Just okay. Let me try his home phone. Yeah, he's not picking up either one. So no phones he's picking up.
The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not.
Yeah. I cannot get him on either phone, cell phone or other phone. So what we're going to do, I have given him, actually it's almost 15 minutes. So I'm going to still do it. And he already knows I'm a hardcore time stickler. So that's something else about me. But I'm going to give him another minute. It's 9:14. I'm going to give him another minute. And if not, we're just going to call this a wash. Unless we have another person that might want to have the belief that and we have this guy, Christ is the Messiah, who is accepted and believe him as Lord and Savior. See, we have somebody, so we even have this Kevin. Shalom, shalom, brothers, brother in Christ, the Messiah of all who accept it and believe in him as Lord and Savior. Actually, he's not telling actually the truth either there. See, I would more than happy welcome him in also, because he's not actually telling the truth. And I had a feeling this was going to happen. Yeah, Deacon, I've got actually he shocked me because he actually called me. He called me this morning and he was ramped up, ready to go. And I told him, hey, call in about 5 minutes before then, and we're going to go ahead and we'll set it up and be able to go through. And for some reason, he's not showing up. And I'm talking about I'm looking through here constantly trying to see, do I see him here? And he is not here. And I'm gonna tell you the weirdest thing is, one of the elders know he calls me all the time about this kind of stuff, and I'm really shocked that I'm down. Literally, he will not even pick up the phone, and he picks up his phone. I'm talking about he'll pick up his phone, or he'll pick up his cell phone or his house phone, and he won't pick up either one. So this is extremely, extremely odd. Yeah, he's not picking up neither one. So what I'm gonna do is try the other one again, but he is not picking them up. And
Brother Michael,
yeah, what happened, man?
I was already on the phone.
No, bro. No.
Huh?
I said, did you call in right now?
Yeah.
No, I'm sitting there. I'm looking for you right now. I don't see you in here.
Okay. Yeah, I dialed.
No. Yeah, dial.
You dialed the phone.
Yeah, dial it. Yeah, dial it right now and put in the code.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye. Okay, you guys. I think we got him. So we can get ready to crank up. We're gonna wait and see. I'm looking for the number to come in, and we have our three sisters here. And see, we lost some time, but let me see here. Because if not, what I could do, I want to give him I don't see anything as of yet. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. So if not, I will call him and I'm going to use my phone if I have to. And I'm not seeing it yet. Still as of nothing yet. Please just be patient. We have caught up with him, but not seeing the numbers yet. Nothing. I don't know what's. Nothing as of yet. Okay, so let's do this. And I don't know. Okay. I think that's okay. 1 second. We had this call in. I see a call in right now. And I want to show this. Yeah, show the call in listener. But I don't know what he's calling in on. Because I can't get to I can't actually pull him up the way he got it. So let me see if I can do it this way. Yeah. So let me see if I can do it this way. Because I do see it now, but it don't show where he can actually come up the way he did it. Yeah, because he just got called in. I don't know how he did that to where he's not coming in. So let me do this here again. Because now I do see it here. Hey, yeah. Okay, yeah, but however you dialed in, however you got it dialed in, I can't pull you up. No, did you? No, because that number, no, the number you doing it on, it actually is not showing me to where I can pull you up. That's the. Yeah, I have another number I can do it on. Because if not, I'm gonna put you on the I can put you on speaker here, but well, that'd be kind of hard to. That'd be a little bit harder to do. But I tell you what, let's try this. Try this one. Try this number. And we'll tell you what. Oh, we'll tell you what. Try this number here. And this will probably work for you. Try 1669. No, yeah. You ain't got to worry about it. Yeah, you'll be fine. Is 900, and you got 6833. Yeah, use that one. But then you put in ID number. No, that's not the ID number. No. Yeah, after you dial in, it's going to ask you for an ID number. Yeah. 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 No, you doing it wrong. No. You dial the number 1-669-900-6833. And then you're gonna ask you for the ID number. And you put that number in. Yeah. Yeah, just press pound. Yeah, no, just stay on there because the way you're doing it, you're not being able to be pulled up. That's what I'm saying, because I don't know how you doing it that way. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on the line. Do it right now. I'm gonna stay on the line. Okay. I'm gonna hang up. Go ahead and do it right now. All right. Okay. All right. I don't know what he's calling himself. So we're gonna wait a minute and see what happens here. And let's see here. And would like to have a sister call me. Have a few questions. Yeah, right now we're not taking those, so we actually dealing with something else. And so let me see. Did he get this through? And I really don't know how he's doing it. I don't know how he's doing that other way, because he'll call in and it's to where I can't even. All I can see is it just says a one line where it just says a call in, and you can't even put it on. You can't even put him to where he can speak. And he actually did it again. So I don't know what's his thing is. So I'm gonna have to just put him on speaker, because that's what's actually coming up. Because I'm seeing it again, and I see the call in, but he can't actually speak. Yeah, so it'll be a lot easier that way. So we'll just run it that way, because that's what actually.
Calling me now?
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you, you're doing the same thing. It got it to where I can't bring you in. It's just showing me you calling in, but I can't do anything. So we can do this, and we can hear you. I'm gonna put it on speaker, and I'm gonna actually put you up to the mic when you talk.
All right.
Okay.
Praise God.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what I'm gonna have, I have a sister who will gonna be reading for you. So what we're gonna do, as you know, we always offer the courtesy always to our guests. So we had a sisters that's going with it. We're gonna let you present, and basically what's presented and basically what's happening with everybody else. So as you guys excuse me, because I got the phone up here, but I want to make sure I respect this brother here, to where when he talk, I got to make sure you guys can hear him. So the main thing is, he's going to tell you. Now, we saying there's a difference between a believer and a Christian. He said believer and a Christian is one of the same. So he's going to present what he has. We got to give him the respect and hear him out fully. And then I'm gonna have the sisters respond. So I can address you however you want me to address you. You want me to address you as Brother Salome, or you want me to address you as any other name?
Brother Salome is fine.
Okay, so Brother Salome, we're gonna have it up. We have a sister Sonia who will be your reader. I need that sister to unmic. I unmiked it for you. I already unmiked you. So I already unmiked you, and she's gonna read for you. So, and if can you talk to where I just want to make sure she can hear you, because she's going to read the scripture. So I just want to make sure. So just say a verse, say anything, and I want to make sure she can hear you.
I'm Brother Salome. And this is Sister Sandra.
Shalom, brother.
She can hear you. Okay.
Okay. All right. Elder Brother Michael informed me that the subject is dealing with, are we a believer or are we a Christian, or do we claim both? So my answer is yes, I am a believer, and yes, I'm a Christian. And we're going to use precept to support my belief. The first precept, Isaiah, the 62nd chapter, verse 2. Somebody's trying to call in. I'm just going to ignore that call.
Okay.
This guy named, yeah. Okay, Isaiah 62, verse 2. What does it say?
Just a minute.
Okay.
I got to break this Bible in this morning. This one. Isaiah 62 and what chapter? I mean, what verse?
Isaiah, verse 2.
And the Gentiles shall seek thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory. And thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of Yahuwah shall name.
All right. Now, this is a dual prophecy. Go to verse 12. Let's see this name of God's people.
And they shall call, and they shall call them the holy people, the redeemed of Yahuwah. And thou shalt be called Salt, a city not forsaken.
All right. So the precept with this prophecy by the Isaiah, we're going to follow up with the Lord giving a new name to the believers. A new name. I got two precepts for this one. The first precept we're going to use is Acts, the 11th chapter, verse 26.
Acts 11, 26.
Yes, ma'am.
And when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch.
So this new name that the Lord has given the church is called Christian. It's the first time that the Lord has called the church Christian. Now, the Lord, as you and I know, he called this apostle by the name of Paul, Saul. And we find him preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. And that's what a Christian is. A Christian is a follower of the Lord Jesus Christ. A Christian is a disciple of Jesus Christ. Let's get Acts, the 26th chapter, verse 27 through 29. Acts, the 26th chapter. Acts, the 26th chapter, verse 27 through 29.
King Agrippa, believest thou the prophet? I know that thou believest. Then Agrippa said unto Paul, almost thou persuadest me to be a Christian.
Listen, verse 29.
And Paul said, I would to Yahawashah, that not only thou, but also all that hear me this day were both almost, and altogether such as I am, except these bonds.
So the Lord, through the prophet of Isaiah, has fulfilled what he called this new name. Now, the other new name we found in Matthew's, the 16th chapter. Let's start at verse. We mentioned the church, a new name. The Lord has called his people, a holy people, disciples of Yeshua. And Matthew's the 16th chapter. Let's start with verse.
Okay. And bro, you got 6 more minutes.
6 more minutes.
Yep.
All right. All right. Let's get Matthew's. No, I'm sorry. That's Mark. I'm sorry. Mark. Let's go to Mark, the 15th chapter. I was going to go with the church, but let's go with the Lord has called us believers. Let's get that. Mark, the 15th chapter. And do Mark. Now, we established that the Lord called us Christian, according to Precept. Now, let's establish that the Lord calls us believers. Mark, the 15th chapter. Matthew, Mark. Let's start with verse 15. I'm sorry, Mark, the 16th chapter. I'm sorry. Mark, the 16th chapter, verse 15. Mark, the 16th chapter, verse 15. Let's see what the Lord called us.
Mark 16:15.
Yes, ma'am.
And he said unto them, Go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature.
Listen. Verse 16.
He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned.
All right, so the Lord called us a believer. Those that believe in the gospel of Yeshua, that he died on the cross for our sins, the Son of God. Verse 16. Listen.
You want? I just finished reading 16. You want me to move to
Oh,
17?
you just read 16? Okay. You read 16 again?
He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned.
All right, now let's hear again the Apostle Paul, Romans the 10th chapter, verse 8. The Lord called us believers that believe in Yeshua as the Messiah, the Son of God. And he called us Christian, those that are follower, disciples of Jesus Christ. All right? Romans the 10th chapter, verse 8.
But what saith it? The word is not thee, even in thy, and in thy heart. That is the word of faith, which he preached.
All right, that's what we preach. Listen, verse 9.
Thou, if thou shalt
That
if thou shalt confess with thy mouth Yahuwah, and shalt believe in thine heart that Yahuwah hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be.
He called us a believer in Yeshua, the Son of God.
You got 1 minute.
All right.
You got 1 minute.
All right. Verse 10. Listen.
For with the heart man believeth to righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation.
Verse 11.
For the scripture saith, whosoever believeth on him shall not be.
Verse 12.
For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek, for the same
Lord.
For the same Yahweh, excuse me, over all is written unto all that call upon him.
Close it out. Verse 13.
For whosoever shall call upon the name of Yahweh shall be saved.
All right. I think that's enough to support that we are both believers.
All right, my brother. Let me now see. You can't put your belief. No, bro. No, Salome. You can't push yours saying you think that we. You said you got to keep with you, what your belief is.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have the daughter of Zion. She can unmic.
Okay.
And do you want anyone to read for you? Or if not, I'll read for you. If we can have one of the elders read for you. Daughter of Zion. Huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, bye.
What?
Shalom.
Shalom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here. Shalom is here.
Yeah.
Can some,
I can let her get it.
Yeah, no, Salome. Let her. She.
Elder, can you read Malachi 3:6, please?
Okay, I'm gonna read for us. So Salome, the same respect that they gave you, I want you to give to them. You let them speak, and you just listen, my brother.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to Malachi verse 3 and verse 6. Let me go to Malachi 3:6, and I will read. Malachi 3:6. It says, right here, it says, "For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed."
I just heard the brother said that he is a believer and a Christian, but you can't be two. It's either you're a believer or you're a Christian, because there's a difference between the two. A believer is someone who's dedicated to the Lord, the statutes and commandments. A Christian, on the other hand, is something totally different. Throughout the entire Bible, the word Christian.
Oh, hold up 1 second. Salome, I'm going to ask you one more time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't say anything until they finish.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Throughout the entire Bible, the word Christian is only mentioned 3 times. The first mention was in Antioch, which is Acts 11:26. Can you read that, please, Elder?
Yes. Acts 11, verse 26. And it says, when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch, and it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people, and the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch.
Can we go to Acts 11:19? Because we want to know who these people were.
11:19, and it says, "Now they were scattered abroad upon the persecution that arose about Stephen, traveled as far as Phoenice and Cyprus and Antioch, preaching the word to none but unto the Jews only."
So that's the reason why Paul went to Antioch. We're going to go back to 2 Corinthians 15:14. And this is the reason why Paul went there.
2 Corinthians
15:1-4.
Oh, 1 Corinthians?
Yes, 1-4.
Okay.
No, 2 Corinthians 1.
Salome, will you?
2 Corinthians
Salome,
16.
I'm not going to ask you anymore.
No, I said repeat the precept. I can hear the precept.
Salome, As soon as we get it clear, I'm asking you again. This is the last time I'm gonna ask you. We
No, man,
didn't.
I just asked you.
No,
Give me the
Salome,
precept.
Salome. Let them talk. We heard you. We heard you for more than 12 minutes. And you keep butting in. Let them to do their talking.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead again.
2 Corinthians 15, 1 to 4.
Okay.
2 Corinthians
15, 1 to 4.
Okay. 1 second. Mine is acting up here. 1 second. Yeah, let me reopen this up 1 second. Cause mine is sitting here acting up here. So you want 1 Corinthians
1 Corinthians.
Oh, first, that's why 15, 1 through 4. I'm sorry. Okay. 1 Corinthians 1 through 4. Moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I preached unto you, which also you have received, in wherein ye stand, by which also ye are saved, if ye keep in memory that I preached unto you, unless ye have believed in vain. For I delivered unto you first all that which I also received, how that Christ died for our sins according to the scriptures, and that he was buried, and
That's the reason why Paul went to preach.
that he was buried, and he raised, and he rose again the third day according to the scriptures.
Can we go to Acts 26, 2 to 3, please?
Acts 22.
26.
Oh, 26.
2 to 3.
2 to 3. And it says, I think myself happy, King Agrippa, because I shall answer for myself this day before thee, touching all things whereof I am accused of the Jews.
Carry on, Elder.
Especially because I know thee to be expert in all customs and questions which are among the Jews, whereof I beseech thee to hear me patiently.
So you see, King Agrippa knew Paul because King Agrippa was strong in the law. He knew the Jewish customs. And that's why Paul wanted to speak to him, because Paul was happy for what he was doing. He was preaching the truth, which is the true gospel of Yahweh. Acts 26, 22, 23.
And it says, where having therefore obtained help from Yahweh, I continue unto this day, witnessing both to small and great, saying none other thing than those which the prophets and Moses did say should come. And Christ should suffer, and that he should be the first that should raise from the dead, and should show light unto the people and to the Gentiles.
Can we go to Acts 26, jump down to 24, 25?
And he said, thus spake for myself Festus, said with a loud voice, Paul, thou art beside thyself. Much learning doeth make thee mad. He said, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Festus was accusing Paul of being mad because he was saying that this man, he died and then he rose again after 3 days. And me as a Christian, I would think that's stupid as well. Can we go to Acts 26, 28, please?
26, 28. King Agrippa said unto Paul, almost thou persuaded me to be a Christian.
Festus was accusing Paul, calling him stupid. And that's the reason why King Agrippa made this statement, because he knew that a Christian was a stupid person. So Paul almost persuaded him that he was stupid too, but he didn't buy into it. Can we go to Deuteronomy, Acts 26, 30 and 31, please?
30, 31. When he had thus spoken, the king rose up, and the governor and Bernice, and they that sat with them. And when they were gone aside, they talked between themselves, saying, this man doeth nothing worthy of death or of bonds.
So see, Paul was innocent and he knew that Agrippa knew the law and the custom. So that's why he asked to spoke to Agrippa. Can we go to Deuteronomy 24, 7, please?
Deuteronomy 24.
I missed the verse.
Verse 7. If a man be found stealing any of his brethren of the children of Israel, and maketh merchandise of him, or sell him, then that thief shall die, and shall put evil away from among you.
You see, Paul was innocent because he didn't commit none of these crimes. He was there just preaching the gospel. So my conclusion of the whole matter is Christian was only mentioned 3 times in the Bible. And throughout the whole Testament, it's never been mentioned. God is a God that doesn't change. He doesn't. So the word Christianity derives from somewhere else. And right here, it's clear evidence that is saying it's a dumb, stupid person, because they were accusing Paul of something which was the truth. I'll call my other sister to debate, sir.
Okay, and I need her to unmic. And are you unmiked?
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yes, hi, Elder. I'll be reading from 1 Peter.
1 Peter
4,
4.
16, and then I'm going to take it up to 12 to 14.
So
First, I'd like to say that Christian is a word derived from Cretan, which means stupid. So, you know, when you call yourself a Christian, basically you're saying you're stupid. And like when you get the opportunity, you can look that word up.
That's false.
okay, so again, okay, go ahead.
1 Peter 4 and 26. Yet if in,
1 Peter?
yes, 4 and 26. Can you hear me?
Yeah, 4:20. No, 1 Peter
4. Starting with verse 26.
No,
I'm
you,
15,
no,
I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm sitting there, yeah.
And I'm looking right at it.
It says, yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify Yahweh on this behalf.
And what he's saying here is because he knew that once we as Hebrews followed Yahushua, that we will be persecuted for his sake. He knows that we're not Christians, we're believers in him. We are believers in Yahushua, and we chose to follow his word, which means we are to obey his laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what makes us believers, as the sister before me stated. So we're not Christians.
That's false.
Okay, Salome, you let them finish. She said she's not a Christian. She's not false.
Okay, but no,
Okay, again. See, this is a problem. This is the biggest problem I keep saying. Every time we deal with you, every time they'll listen to you and they give you the respect and they don't say anything. When they talk, you continually, as what Christians do, you keep butting in and you try to force your belief on them. As you said, yeah, you just no, Salome, you just did. Okay, then all you say once you come back on, you just say you disagree. Okay, but don't sit there and talking about what they are. They telling you plain as day they are not Christians.
Okay. All right, okay, it's okay.
Okay.
That's right. They believe what they want. Yeah.
Okay. So we have the other one. The which one?
1 Peter 12.
1 Peter 12
to 14. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange things happen unto you. But rejoice inasmuch as you are partakers of Christ's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached for the name of Christ, ye are happy, for the Spirit of glory and of God resteth upon you. On their part, he is evil spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified. What he's saying there is that the Christians crucified him, basically. They're speaking evil of him. They're not obeying his laws, statutes, and commandments. They're holding on to what is not true. We as believers are going to be crucified for his sake. And for that cause, we are to be happy. I'm happy I'm a believer in Yahweh Shai. I'm happy that I came into the truth. And again, I'll close it out again with Malachi 3 and 6. I believe my sister already read that, but I'll read it again for you. Malachi 3 and 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. He's telling us right here in his word that he doesn't change. He doesn't change at all. From the old to the new, he has remained the same. He has not changed at all. I can actually bring up some other scriptures, but I think other ones to stay on the point of what the subject is about.
Yeah.
A Christian and versus a believer. So that I'll stay on the subject.
Yeah. So let me give him, because we were supposed to be ending this, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go a little bit over. So I'm gonna let him respond, and then I'm gonna give it back to the other sister. So I don't know what he might want to respond with. So we got to give him at least 7 minutes to where he can respond to you guys on what went on. Salome?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hey, I enjoyed what I heard from the daughter of Zion and the other sister. Mm-hmm. Now, a Christian is called a disciple. Let's get a precept. John 13th chapter. A Christian is not a dumb person, stupid person. It's okay, Michael.
No, I'm not saying you didn't hear me say anything. I'm not like you, bro.
Okay, I love you, man. I love you. Yeah. I love the daughter of Zion. I love everybody.
So she I got her. So she's getting ready to read for you. Go ahead.
Okay, a Christian is a disciple of Jesus Christ, Yeshua. Let's run a precept. John the 13th chapter. John the 13th chapter, mm-hmm. verse 34 and 35. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's getting ready to read it for you, bro.
Okay, all right, sir.
John 13:34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if you have love one to another.
Okay, so a Christian is a disciple.
It don't say
Jesus
that.
Christ.
It don't say that.
Okay, just like it did not say a Christian is a dumb, stupid person.
Yeah, it did.
No, it didn't say that. She said that out of her mouth.
No, she didn't.
No, she did. The scripture didn't say that.
No, you want me to pull it for you?
Yeah, pull it. The Bible said When we read that precept, show me that precept where it said a Christian. The Bible said a Christian is a dumb, stupid person.
Again, see this is what Christians do. Okay, let's go there again.
Michael,
let me, if you, okay, yeah, I'm getting ready to show it to you right now.
Okay.
Now, we're going to go back to Acts chapter 26.
Okay.
All right. I want you to understand what them sisters did.
No, I just want to see.
No, okay, yeah, you go. Wait a minute, you go.
That's what I want to see.
Okay, this the problem. You do too much talking besides going to the scriptures.
You talk too.
Okay,
Michael.
no, I just said go to Acts chapter 26.
Okay.
You said you want to see it. I'm gonna show it to you.
All right.
Acts chapter 26, verse 3. They said, especially because I know thee to be an expert in all customary questions, which are among the Jews, which that's why he was glad he was talking to King Agrippa, because why? King Agrippa is an expert in those things concerning the Jews. Now, where they did, and they took you to a very specific place, and we're going to go there, and you're going to see why this happened. Now, once it got down, as he was saying what happened, you're going to see right here in verse 24, as Paul was telling them what was going on. Look at verse 24 real carefully. And then you see it says, and as he thus spake for himself, Festus said with a loud voice, Paul, thou art beside thyself. Much learning has made thee mad. Mad, crazy. That's all he's saying. You crazy. Now, here go your key. Let's go down some more. We're going to go down. No. Let's go down some more. He's just saying he ain't crazy. Let's go down some. Wait a minute, Salome. Let's go down some more. You just said show it to you. I'm gonna show it to you. See, this is your problem. You keep it. This is the problem. Now, verse 27. King, once he said what he did, he called himself checking King Agrippa. He said, King Agrippa in verse 27, thou believest the prophets, which you know. He's an expert. It tells you this in verse 3. He said, I know thou believest. King Agrippa said to Paul, thou almost persuaded me to become just what Festus called him, a Christian, crazy. Now, wait a minute, no.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, Salome. This is your problem. This is your problem. This is your problem, bro. This is your main problem.
That's what the Bible says.
The Bible don't say that. The Bible don't say that.
That's what it says.
The Bible says. Okay, see this is your problem. It's telling you right there, because bro, I'll tell you what, it tells you when you get down to verse 31. When they were going aside, they talked between themselves. That's doing this worthy. This man has done nothing worthy of death.
Right. Okay, yeah. So what did it say in the Bible that a Christian is a stupid, dumb person?
I just read it to you.
No, you didn't.
What do mad mean? Tell me what do mad mean. What do mad? M-A-D. What do that mean?
Crazy. Okay, now read verse 25.
We got.
But he just answered his own question there.
Read it.
Salome.
Verse 25. Read it.
Salome.
No, don't be scared.
Salome.
Read it.
Salome.
How much time does he have left?
No, Salome.
You try to skip
no, Salome. I'm gonna read 25 for you, but man, you gotta It says, but he said, I am not mad. That's all he's saying.
Okay, but read it.
I just read it. He said, I'm not mad. Okay, and what? But most noble fasting. Guess what? I speak forth in truth and soberness. And what?
That's right. So what is truth, Michael?
No, Salome. You just missed it. Festus just called him crazy. You even admit that for yourself.
Does Festus control Paul, or does Yeshua control Paul? Does the Holy Spirit control Paul, or does Festus or Agrippa control Paul?
Salome. Dude,
you need to understand. Who you're talking to, Michael.
No, Salome. Oh, I know exactly.
No, don't come with that false doctrine, that false teaching.
Salome, you just said this yourself.
You are a Christian, Michael.
No, Salome. Salome, don't you? No, Salome. Salome. Wait a minute, hold it. Salome.
You are following
wait a minute.
Christ. You believe in
hold up. Salome. Salome, I'm gonna make this real clear to you again. I'm gonna make this real clear to you again. Don't ever in your life tell me what I am. Don't ever in life tell me what I am. I'm not a Christian. So don't ever come, same as I'm not going to tell you what you are. Don't you ever in life tell me what I am. Because I know what I am. And see, and that's disrespectful when you're doing stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end it because this is mainly what Christians do. But this, just like I said, I told you before, you sitting there and now you trying to make everybody become a Christian. And as they said, they're not Christians. As I said, I'm not a Christian. You cannot make me be whatever you want me to be. No, but that's what you did. But that's what you do, and then you try to talk over people. So what I'm gonna do? So what I'm gonna do, Salome, as I said, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end it. Because as I said, when you start trying to make people be what you want them to be because they don't see it the way you see it, as I said, this is what Christians do. This is what they do. And you making this clear. So that's why I took you all to where I can let you know exactly what I'm saying. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end this, and then we'll deal with this somewhere else, because the main problem is you really have to see and understand scripture, but this is the basis of it. But other than that, my brother, you take care. Let me go and deal with my class. All right, take care, my brother. All right, yeah, love you too, bro. Take care. Take care. Bye. All right. So technically, again, that's what happens. So,
but he answers his own question, Elder.
Yes, he does. So that's the thing. But he's saying, even though, see, and this is what Christians do. So even though Paul even said he's not crazy, so he's saying, so Paul, but what do they see him as? They see him as crazy. He said exactly it. So if he's saying that, so this is why it's so important. Let's go back to 1 Peter. So I'm hating that my other sister couldn't get it, but he started acting up. So I don't have the time for that kind of stuff. But I want to show you exactly what is happening. So if you go to 1 Peter chapter 4, it tells you exactly what goes on. So if you go to 1 Peter chapter 4, we're going to look at verse 14. And it says there, if ye be reapproached, and he's going to tell you what reapproach means, because the Bible is his own dictionary. So reapproach, the definition of this is already in here. It's in the same verse. Because even reapproach is being evil spoken of. So he says, so if ye be reapproached for the name of Christ, happy are ye. So if you're going to be evil spoken of, happy are ye. Why? For the spirit of glory and of Yahweh rested upon you. Why? On their part, on other people's part, where you believe that this man has died and he was the first one resurrected back to Yahweh, you're going to be evil spoken. They're going to think you're crazy. So he says, so he is evil. Yeah. So you'll be evil spoken of. But he said, but on your part, he is glorified, because you actually witnessing about this stuff. Because Paul tells you that he was witnessing to small and great. Actually, to show you even better yet, let's prove the point. Let's go over to Acts and prove just what I was just said, because people witness different things, and witness, we need to understand what witness actually means. So we're going to go to Acts 26. Acts chapter 26, and then I'm going to come right back here. Acts chapter 26, and we're going to get down into, let me scroll down. I don't know why my system is messing up today. And here we go. Let's get down here. We're going to go to Acts chapter 26, and we're going to start at verse 21. And this is actually why they actually use witnessing. And it says, for this cause, the Jews caught me in the temple and went about to kill me. They went about to kill him, which you seen one of the sisters just gave you the verse back in 31, sitting there, he wasn't doing nothing that was worthy of that. But watch what Paul was doing. Having therefore obtained help of Yahweh, I continued until this day, witnessing, telling people this what happened to small and great, saying none other thing than those which he's telling you nothing different than what the prophets and Moses did should come. So say should come. That's all Paul was doing. Why? How do we know this? Even when you get down to verse 31, who knew it? King Agrippa. King Agrippa was an expert at this stuff. Why? How do we know this? When they gone aside in verse 31, and when they were gone aside, they talked between themselves, saying, "This man, who Paul, doeth nothing worthy of death." Because why? King Agrippa already said it. Thou almost persuaded me to become a crazy person. You almost persuaded me. Actually, Festus started it out. Festus tells you right there in verse 25. But he said, once he's telling about this man died and came back, Festus probably looking at him, this dude is crazy. So what did Festus say? He said, hey, in verse 24, he said, thus as he speak, he said with a loud voice, "Oh, you beside yourself. Much learning has made you crazy." He even said that himself. That's what it means. Paul just sitting there saying, dude, I'm not crazy. But they still think he's crazy. Why? Because King Agrippa had to go with them, because King Agrippa looking like, hey, I believe this, because what? Paul know he do. Verse 27 tells you that. King Agrippa, thou believest the prophet? Now he goes on and he checks him. I know you believe it. How? He's an expert in it. And he knows this. But King Agrippa, if King Agrippa believes it, do you know how everybody else gonna think about him? And everybody sitting there thinking that Paul and them and people, these people is crazy. They was first called crazy in Antioch. This is the craziness that we go through. But now let's go back over to 1 Peter 4. He says, so in verse 15, it says, "But let none of you suffer as a murderer." Why? Sister Zion took you right there and showed it directly to you. You're going to suffer as a murderer, you're going to be killed as a murderer. You suffer as a thief, you're going to be killed as a thief. You do evil doing, you're going to die as an evil doer. Busybody, you're going to die as an evil body. But he's saying, but if a man suffer as a Christian, what they're going to do? You're going to be evil spoken of. They're going to talk about you. Don't be ashamed. But somebody start telling people that, they can say, "Oh, dude, you got to be crazy." Dude, I'm not crazy. You be doing the same thing as Paul. Dude, I'm not crazy. I'm just telling you this. I'm just witnessing to you, dude. This is true. Dude, you got to be crazy. No. Now, the one that he believed in is he believed God was in flesh, and God rested on that. His spirit was in there, but their God you can kill. See, because they got a born date. See, a Christian, what people have to understand, Christian people believe that God had sex with his own daughter. Christian believe that God had a birth date. How do we know this? Because somehow Mary birthed eternity. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. If you leave it up to them, that's what she did. She birthed eternity. And then she birthed her own salvation. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. And then they got mad and then they killed him. So he came back. So he got to watch how he come back, because they can kill him again. That's their God. So same thing. I'm looking for their God too. So when I see their God, I'm going to kill him.
But you know what, Elder? I don't understand, because they should know the Catholics, the Roman Catholic Church came up with the Immaculate Conception. Yeah. They're the ones that did that. So I don't. So he believes in the Trinity.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it tells you right there in Matthew 1, who the genealogy of Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I tell you what, go read Revelations 22.
Oh yeah, 16. Where he tells you himself. He tells you himself. But they say, no, hold up. Jesus, nope, you're lying. So they call his word a liar.
You are not from them. That's what they do. No, Jesus, hold up. No, you're lying, Jesus. You're not from that. So that's what you do.
That is so crazy.
So, but
I really wasn't going to bring actually when I had wrote down some scriptures, but when daughter of Zion started, it was like the scripture she came from. Those
yeah,
were the ones I had wrote down.
yeah, but I'll tell you what, I don't know who is being for real. Boy, that's cold-blooded. She said the pastor actually proved what Christians are. That's a cold deal right there. I'm talking about they got it right there in the chat. I'm looking dead at it. That's a cold deal. But they are proof, but I'm talking about but it's true. It's true. But yeah. Dang, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good point. Be for real. That's true, because he proved the point. And then he tried to make you become a Christian. That's the crazy part. He still, no, you a Christian. No, you are a Christian. No, see, but if most people don't realize what happened, what they did when they started traveling around the world, they did that. They actually had that image of their God. And if you didn't adhere to this God, they actually killed you. Mm-hmm. So he was actually going into that state. Mm. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna go ahead and we end it out. But I do have the true follower, my sister. Can you unmic real quick? We didn't let her get no lunch. I don't know. I need her to unmic. I needed her to unmic, but I guess she's not. And we have sound like the brother doesn't know who he's. Wait a minute. Seems like the brother doesn't know who is talking when he reads the scriptures. It'll actually shock you, because I know him pretty well. He calls me quite a bit. However, he knows scripture. He just knows scripture verses. But what they do, they go to interpretation. They go to interpretations of scripture. So since he know we use precept, so he'll say precepts, but technically he don't use precepts. He goes to stuff everywhere he go. He have to explain to you what was going on. That's why he said they was first called Christian, then he went somewhere else and then said what they were called believers. They was first called Christian in Antioch because what the sister Zion showed, Paul went around teaching to everybody, and they was calling this dude. I mean, you hear what this dude talking about? This dude that raised from the dead? Oh man, that dude got to be crazy. So that was what was happening. But the ones who believed, but the ones who didn't, he thought he was crazy. Same as Festus. So yeah. So and then it should be shared on. So what I'm gonna have to end up doing, I'm gonna have to have this edited, because it has a it was some hecepts that was being used. It was hecepts. But what we have to do is I'm gonna have to have that edited to where we can get him right where he came in. And because other than that, I think we waited more than 15 minutes to make sure that happened. So we're gonna do that. But other than that, as I say, and as my class know, we're doing in the back, precepts is king. Precepts keeps you away from false doctrine, and that proves itself. And actually, as a Christian, you go back, listen to it very closely, hear what he's saying. You can hear the heresy in Christian doctrine. So when you go inside of a Christian church, that is literally what you are believing in and what you are listening to, because he's actually over a church for over 35 years. So that's what you have to remember. And it's very important not to get caught up in false doctrine. And this is one of them.
Does he have a large following?
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to his church and
he actually the weird thing is that when we met and we went back and forth over some things. I actually tore him down, so he actually never invited me inside his church. So
Because he knew you would tell him the truth.
so I never been invited. So I never stepped foot inside his church technically, but I do know he has a large following. And I'm trying to sit there. Paul, did he not realize Paul was one saying he was? Sister Johnson, I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. Everybody sees it. However, he don't. And most Christians don't. Yeah, you more than welcome. B, I don't know who's B for real, but it was just a crack up that I just appreciate that. I don't know if y'all seen that statement because it said that it was just a funny statement. He was actually literally proving a point, and they just put that in there. Just saying, hey, he was proving he was a Christian. He was crazy. So he does have a large following. We got to work. Yeah, that's true. Because he has a large following. He has a very large following. I'm talking about, it's not no small following. It's quite a few hundred people that follows this guy. So that's the thing. So we have a work to do. We have to get out there, but you got to remember, most Christians believe that. And Brother Stan, I appreciate you, and that's why he won't own the truth, because he took exactly, and he's hardcore into the money. Hardcore into it. Oh, okay. That's a statement. Okay. All right, that was a good catchphrase you did. Yes, we have a lot of work to do, but Brother Stan, but he makes money. And I can tell you, he went from a Honda Accord to a Mercedes 550. That I personally know.
He makes good money then.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
He went from that to another one. And I have Brother Richard. Let me bring him up real quick before we go out. Oh, wait a minute. He had his hand up. I got to put him back up. I did that wrong. I said that, Brother Richard. Let me bring him back up because he had his hand up. And Brother Richard, you had something before we go out?
Shalom, Elder. This is Elder Smith. I just changed it because you said to.
Yeah.
He confused the Most High with King Agrippa because he made the statement that the Most High called us Christians.
Yeah.
And I caught that. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, at all.
Yes, sir.
And then he got mad and said, "No, you are a Christian." No, dude, no, I'm not.
Yes. But I changed it back to my name again. Okay. I just did it for here.
Okay, yeah. So my thing. So only one of my sisters wasn't able to speak because now he was in argue mode then. So that's why I said no. We'll cut it from that point. So we have another Christian which is gonna bring in, and this was a little bit more subtle, but literally gonna rip him apart. And mainly for a lot of people who don't know, he actually we had him in the back. So if you guys don't know, we had him in the back, and actually some of these sisters ripped him apart before. So technically he wanted to speak with the sister, but then he wanted to do it publicly the way he wanted to let them know exactly to where he could shut them down based on what they know, because he don't think they technically do precepts correctly, which I didn't get. So again, they ripped him apart, and now he's upset. So, but I guarantee he's gonna try to come back because he normally does it. He's gonna come back, he's gonna do a bunch of apologies, this and that. But I guarantee he's still gonna want to speak to him. But then he still tried to force them to where they're gonna be Christians. That's for some reason, but that's what Christians do. They try to force you to believe what they believe, and it's just not there. So any of my other elders or any of the sisters before we go out, if you guys had any comments or anything,
Sister Dana on mic.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sister, we're gonna make sure the next time we're gonna because because then you just would have been an argument match. Because them sisters already was hot at that point. It was hot at that point. And I got a couple of elders and brothers want to speak. So before we go out, I'm gonna let them speak before I go out. And I got brother Kyle and Elder Sutton also want to speak before we go out. So brother Kyle, you had anything? Yeah, I can't hear you, my brother. You got on mic.
I'm on mic now. Thank you for reminding me. Shalom. I just wanted to say the sisters did a very good job on defending the principles that we believe in. And that's my little statement. And thank y'all.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. And they keep taking him down memory lane. But if people we would have did the first one, that was a massacre, the first one. This was that first one was a massacre.
And I heard yesterday you was threatening him with Devin, young Devin.
Yeah.
So keep up the good work. I'm gonna let some of the other elders and stuff talk. I just want to say I was listening in and enjoyed it.
Okay, appreciate it. Yeah, and I have Elder Sutton. We have him in here and he wanted to say something real quick. Elder Sutton? I don't know where he go. Where did he go? And I think we might have lost him. So other than that, I appreciate everybody. You know that let me make sure I got everything clear. And in the Holy Trinity concept, invalidation, Yahushua, existence. If you think about, actually, that's very true. Actually, let me bring her up real quick and see, does she want to speak on that? And Sister Julie, I see you made a comment back here. And how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, and Roger, that's very true with your statement. But it's just very funny to where you see people so all we're trying to do is just let people know exactly what's happening and exactly what is out there. But Christian doctrine is Christian doctrine, and it just depends on what kind of flavor you want to go into. So it's like going in 31 flavors, just depends on what flavor you want.
But it's so rampant, though. That's what's so scary. I mean, that preacher, whoever his name is, he totally believes in a lie. I mean, he will stand by it till the death. That's what's so scary.
Yeah.
I mean, even when he's reading scriptures and they're not making any sense, like he's not using precepts, like you said, he's not even recognizing like how dumb he looks when he's trying to back up what he's saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's frightening. And there are a lot of people following these blind, dumb people. I feel bad.
Yeah. And he's making some money. He's making money. So with that, hey, I appreciate everybody. I think we got everybody. So with that, until we come back again and coming to this week, actually, I will be teaching somewhat against a whole lot of people this coming week because I'm actually going to be doing a teaching based on preachers and teachers, in which we got to go into the truth and find out what's going on. So I'm actually going to be doing a teaching on that because this is running right. I'm talking about it, but it's rampant. It is rampant out there, and the scariest thing is what people still don't watch is we have even Israelite people who set up churches and they literally teach false doctrine, but people go there because they have it on the Sabbath day and that draws them one, but then they'll sit there and they'll say terminologies a lot of time that draws them two, because some will sit there and all the ruach and all this, and they'll try to do all this stuff and literally pull you in and say, oh man, this is it. No, the dude is lying to you. How do you know he's lying? If he's taking money from you to teach the gospel, he's lying to you. That's a guarantee. If he's sitting there and he's telling you the Most High told him to build a church, understand real clear what I'm saying. If the Most High told you to build a church and he told that to you, he's lying to you. And most people find that hard to believe. If they sitting there saying, well, pay me to help me move the gospel forward and to help us, he's lying to you. The Most High tells you clear in Jeremiah 3:50, I'm giving these people to you to teach you the truth. So if someone say, hey, I need you to give something, he's lying to you. He is a worker of Satan. He gonna come, some gonna come just as cool, humble. You sit there, some say, I have the meekest pastor that you ever want to meet. He can't be like that. And he is lying to you. He come as meek as they come and will lie to you. And then I sit there and I'm, some people say I'm blunt and this and that. Guess what? I don't work for you. I'm not sitting there worrying about if I say something that you don't like. And, I had people, this and that, because I'm sitting there calling all of us whores. Yeah, shoot, I don't need this dude. He calling a whore. Most High calling you a whore. I'm just telling you what he's saying. If he's married to you and you out there whoring around with other guys, he's calling you a whore. So why are you getting mad at me? But I don't work for you. I work for him. Same thing. So I tell people all the time. So if you have a problem with me, then you go talk to him. He the one can hire fire and reprimand me for what I'm saying. Him, not you. So that's how I take it. So my thing is, that's what I do. So that's the way we work it. So other than that, everybody, hopefully that we all learn from it. But
Elder, real quick, last Sunday I had this pastor from Ohio. She's a prophetess. Sent me an invite to watch her service live. So I went on and I posted the scriptures from Jeremiah when she got to talking things. And I posted some other things. I posted Malachi as well. And she inboxed me on Messenger and told me not to post on her thing. But you sent me an invite. I said, why? Because you don't want your people to know the truth?
Yeah.
God said he was going, Yahweh said, I'll give you. Give means free.
Yeah, free.
And she's like, she actually told me not to post. I said, why? Because you do not want your congregation to know the truth.
Yeah. And
she didn't respond when I said that either.
Oh, yeah.
It's a shame how many people, and to think that I was like that. Yeah. What was it, 2016, I gave almost $4,000 in tithes.
I came under, I learned my foundation and everything. That the most High put me at the feet of a Dr. Raif Shaul. That's who he put me at the feet of to learn my foundation. And it cost me, and I sat with that man. And actually, I still do sit with him. He say I don't, but I still bug him. I've been sitting with that man for more than 12, 13 years. Cost me exactly nothing. That's what it cost me. Exactly zero. All I needed was a connection. He don't live here in the country. He live out of the country, but it cost me zero. But I sit at his feet though. I literally sit at this man's feet because this man has great wisdom. So, and he knows the book like it's unreal. So that's who I learned from. He treats me like I'm his son, which sometimes I think he's overbearing in that arena. Other than that, yeah, you already know it. Some of y'all in the back, y'all, because he treats me well. I'm gonna leave that alone. But that's how I hold to it. But he showed me the foundation to where we can do what we do. And that,
I think I speak for everybody. All praises to the Most High Yah for choosing him to teach the word, and then you him choosing you to teach you, and therefore you're reaching the lost sheep of Israel. And I praise the Most High every day, and I like I said, I think I can speak for everybody that's come across you. And like you said, you always tell us it's not by mistake.
no, not by mistake. Not by mistake. And see, and actually, I can't even really steal that because I say it all the time, but I actually tell people, but people don't know. That's actually a quote from Dr. Shaul. He actually told me. He said, you think it was by mistake me and you met? I said, no, I just thought she hated me. That's literally what I thought. I ain't gonna even go into what he did, what he used to do to me, but I thought she hated my guts on what he was doing while we was in class. But if anybody, because it's on YouTube, if anybody know him, they would tell you, if they know the man, they'll tell you about this man. This man is scary. He can literally quote full books. He's scary. So he's up in age, but this dude can quote a book. Same thing like they talking about the book of Eli and all that stuff, how they do it. This dude can quote a book like it's nothing, word for word. So so hopefully the Lord continue to bless him, with health and everything. But but other than that, we're gonna go on and cut on up out of here. I believe all of a sudden I got him in here. I don't know. He had his hand up, so I don't know if he wanted to say something before we cut out.
Yes, sir. I was just looking at that 2 Timothy 3 and 6 or 7. It says, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. I don't mean to laugh at that, but that scripture always pops up in my head when you read a scripture and they can't really comprehend what the words are saying. They're taking it a different way, and it's not mind-boggling anymore to see that. But when the Lord tells us that forever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth, that's because you keep sticking to that lie. And when you do that, that strong delusion comes on you to where you're going to believe a lie, and it's hard to get them out of that sometime unless you say that seed that's planted in that word, the Most High pours water on it and causes it to grow. Other than that, if that seed lie dormant and the Most High doesn't provide the water, they're going to still believe in that Trinity and all that other stuff. Because I remember when he said Jesus is he's God. And then later on, Sister Anna Lee caught him on it when he said he's the Son of God.
Yeah.
It's just comical.
Yeah, and it just comes, and then once you woke, it's just plain. And you got to argue. I'm talking about you arguing with a stupid statement.
Yes.
So that's why sometimes we say, hey, when people just don't want to take it, hey, it's not good to throw pearls to swine. That's why he don't.
Yes. And you see how he was reading the scriptures. Well, when the sister was reading the scriptures about a believer, that was not what he was saying.
No.
He was saying believe. It didn't say you are a believer, and he kept using that to try to say that this is what it means, believe.
That's the philosophy. I'm glad you brought. That's the philosophy. See, most people tell you something real dangerous. You got a lot of people, especially you got a lot of Israelite brothers out there who teach, and they go into Josephus. And they love this Josephus guy. But as he said, you seek ye out of the book. So same thing when I be in the back and I get in and we make sure we only in this one book. We in this one book. But everybody see we got enough work in the one book, then the law allow. Just in the one book. So what happened, they still going to Josephus, like Josephus walking around, cruising around with them, but they don't even know who Josephus' hero is. His hero is Philo. Philo is the inventor of philosophy. Go look it up. That's Josephus' man.
That's what the cabs tell you to get, because I had that book too.
Okay.
I got rid of it.
Josephus loved him some Philo. When you heard philosophy, I know everybody done heard the word philosophy. You know where that word came from? You know where that word came from?
From Philo.
It came from Philo. Because it is actually, and the reason it's called philosophy, because it reverence, it honors Philo. You know how you have a law that goes out right now, and the law is named after somebody in their honor?
Yes.
Philosophy. You honor in Philo.
And that falls up under vain thinking.
Yeah. Why you think them Greeks is so in the way they are? You have to, and that's why Paul, that's why even when Yahushua said, don't go this direction.
Yes.
He knew some of his disciples would get flipped up. How do we know this? Gamaliel was a hardcore Pharisee who Paul sat under. Paul sat at his feet. Paul knew the perfect order of the laws of men. He knew the perfect order of the laws of God. He knew them both. This is how dangerous Paul was. So Paul was so dangerous, and to sit at the feet of Gamaliel, you better be able to quote all first 5 of those books. Because if you can't sit with Gamaliel. That's why you hear Paul said he sat at the feet of Gamaliel. He was his top student. He was the man. Now Gamaliel put the dang disciples after Yahushua was dead, he put them through hell. Tells you that right in the book.
Yeah.
They couldn't. Gamaliel went and was flipping them up, and they couldn't deal with him. But the one he knew the one that had some power, that was Paul. Paul ain't one you can flip. But Paul is the ones with them Philo believers. That's what Paul was sent out. So, okay, run there with Paul, I'm going to send you. Because you know the perfect order of God, you know the perfect order of man. You the best one I'm going to send. I'm going to send you. These fishermen, we're going to have them to deal with the ones who believe. You, I'm going to have you go deal with these Hellenists, these Jews acting like Gentiles. I'm going to send you to them. Because I know they're going to try to flip them, but they can't flip you because you already know how to flip it. Because you can flip into philosophy and go right out of it and bring them right back to the truth. That's why, tell you what, let's go to actually, see, I got to hurry up and get out of it because I know if not, I end up being in here. Let's go to 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 15. And daughter Zion, can you read that for me, my sister? Hello. I tell you what, sister Sonia, can you read that for me?
Yes, Elder.
Yeah. 2 Peter chapter 3, start at verse 15.
And an account that the long suffering of Yahushua is salvation, even as our beloved brother Paul, also according to the wisdom given unto him.
So as the same spirit was given to Paul, Peter walked with Paul. Him and Paul was rolling together. This is what we need to clearly see. This is where people really falsely understand Paul. This is where you even have Christians out there sit there and they tell you Paul is a false teacher. They tell you this. They tell, well, Paul is not an apostle. Paul tells you himself he's not an apostle in the Bible. He said, I magnified my office. You sending me to the Gentiles? Okay, all right. You sending me there? I'm gonna go there now. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna call myself an apostle just like they doing. You sending me? So you sending me? I'm gonna call myself an apostle. He said, I magnify my office. But watch what Paul does. Verse 16.
As also in all his epistles.
In every letter that you see in this Bible that is of Paul is what? Go ahead.
Speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood.
Why? Because when you go to Romans chapter 7, verse 1, Paul said, I speak to them who know what? Who know the law. If you don't know the law, don't read my book. If you don't know the law, don't read my letters. Why? Because this actually, can I have one? Hey, Elder Smith, can you read Romans 7:1? Because I want my sister to stay right there and I'm gonna have her go back to this.
Yes, sir. Elder, Romans 7:1.
7:1. That's all we need. That one verse.
Okay. Romans 7:1. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law.
He's telling you clear. I speak to them that know the law. When did he start doing it? Ever since he opened his mouth and he started working for the Most High.
How that the law hath domain over a man as long as he liveth.
Period. So finish out 16.
Which they that are learned and unstable rest, as they do also the other unto their own destruction.
You don't understand Paul because Paul gonna tell you about laws of the fathers as well as laws of God. That's why Paul give you the flip sides. Paul, he's a master at doing this. That's why Paul was going in there and he can persecute people in the church. He knew the laws of both. He can flip you. So I tell you, those that are unlearned, unstable, wrestle. They're going to wrestle with the scriptures. Why? Because they don't get Paul. Because Paul might be talking for 1 or 2 chapters about the laws of man. And he going to make it sound so close along the line, it's going to sound like the laws of God. And it's not. Why? He said, them that are unlearned. Unlearned in what? Unlearned in the law. Because if you don't know the perfect order of the law, you ain't gonna know the perfect order when Paul says something. So you have people, and this is show you the silliness of those who say they learned and they done went to school, got their degrees, they got their bachelor's, they got their master's, doctorate, and all this stuff. And they sitting there, and some even sit there and say, Paul is a false teacher. Then you have some sit there and say, Paul got rid of the law. All those are false teachers. All those are workers for Satan. Every one of them, we could sit there and say hi, everyone, but that's bluntly what they are. They are workers for Satan. Why? Because they don't even know Paul. Because Paul telling you, he speaks the law. So he's telling you, and what they're going to do to their own destruction. What that own destruction is, the same one that's teaching you this, the same one you listening to him, the same one you adhere to, he's going to hell and you going to hell right along with him. Zero-sum game. Because same thing like I tell people all the time. When it says when Satan was when Satan was thrown out and cast down to earth, and it says the angels along with him, I ask you the same thing. What did the angels do? I ask that question all the time. What did the angels do? They was listening to him. Oh, well, that's what he listening? Yeah, he threw him out. They was listening to him. Why? Because all you got to do is have that much, small as a mustard seed. Small as a mustard seed. All you got to do is believe that much in what he said. Won't they right? I can believe that. That's not bad. Even though he's falling, small as a mustard seed. Yeah, that must. Guess what? That makes you impure. You getting out. That's what he's talking about. It's that simple. So that's why Paul tells you when all this stuff is wrong. What do you say? Remove thyself. And you know they teaching not the truth. Remove yourself, because all you gotta do is believe that much. That much. You believe that much, and you believe it. Guess what? He's getting cast out. You thinking, well, I knew he was going to get cast out. You standing in line, I knew he was going to get cast out. And they open up all them books on you. You got a problem. Because you only want a book open. You don't want all books open. Because if all the books open up, guess what? You getting ready to bust hell wide open because he getting ready to show you why you're going to hell. Well, I was just sitting in there because my mom used to bring me in. I just thought it was something to do good. Okay. Guess what? Don't collect, go straight to hell. And don't worry, because hell is the train that goes to the lake of fire. That's what's going to happen. So they can teach it, they can sit there, they can say whatever they want to believe, hold on to however they want to hold on to it. They can sit there and call us liars, what we do all day long. I can care less. The end result is in the Bible. So don't believe me. I can care less you don't believe. You better believe this Bible, because this Bible said you listen to this stuff. The same things like some people say, well, I listen to TBN and what's that one? The Lion Hen. You got one with that somebody. The one say, yeah, the one say, I've seen him. I don't know. He the one saying he screwing around on his wife. But you sit there and they say, well, I just like the music. I just like this. All you gotta do is believe that much. That much. When you go stand before him, hell is waiting on you.
Are you talking about that one that a long time ago? I can't think of his name. He's got a son broadcasting. He opened his own broadcasting station. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So people think when we do these, and people sit there, no, this dude, no, I don't believe it. See, my whole thing is, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You don't have to believe me. That's the whole thing. But you better believe this Bible. And this Bible tells you when you sit there and you teach, and somebody's teaching not of the truth, and they say, well, I can believe that, but no, I don't believe. Yeah, it's cool, but sit there if you want to. Sit there. You might as well go on and start doing everything. You might as well start, you like ribs, might as well start keep eating ribs. You like chicken, might as well just keep eating chili. You like to eat them sea roaches, might as well keep eating. If y'all don't know what sea roaches are, ain't nothing but crabs and shrimp. Just might as well go and start eating those. Because your end result, hell is waiting on you. And hell is like that crab trap that y'all see when they go crabbing. It's like a trap. It just packs y'all all in there.
Closes up.
Close up. And ship you all off. I ain't planning on being in that group.
So. Me neither, Elder. I sure don't want to be in there.
So hopefully, you know, and the same one sitting there, you have some people might sit there because they like the way he might preach. Some might like the music there for whatever reason. All you gotta do is like that much. See, that's why he said you just have the faith of a mustard seed. See, he says things roundabout ways. You have the faith of a mustard seed, and what the truth is, you're good. You have a faith of a mustard seed on what that lie was. Out of everything that went on, Satan only told them one thing. Did it get him kicked out? Out of all that time they was in there? Satan told him one thing. One. Did it get him kicked out the garden? That's the problem. So most people keep thinking, see, and it tells you in Hebrews 10:26, once you come to the knowledge of the truth, there ain't no more sacrifice for sin. Don't get caught up. So other than that, my people, actually, that's very true. Little leaven goes a long way. All you need just that much leaven, you can get got. So with that, everybody, I appreciate it. Appreciate the sisters that what they went through, and same thing. We still will be running our classes, but we did have that. So I do appreciate you guys. So until next time, we have another Christian pastor. We will continue, but until then, I'm gonna say to everybody, you know, enjoy the rest of your day. And other than that, to shalom.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. All right, shalom.